Alright. What's going on with my YouTubers right across the world, whatever it is that you're doing? Hope you're having a kick-ass day and succeeding into your day-to-day lives and setting beyond all expectations, Mr. Bond. Without no further ado, let's get on with the show. Tarot cards are back. If people have been asking you for it for quite a bit, so we might do a tarot spread and also talk about auras and predictions too. And there's a little winner inside of this room. Alright. Alright, where do we begin? Dream state. Been trying to take control to manifest my own dream states and actually controlling my dream states to the best of my abilities. That's what I've been doing. There's been a lot of crystal work being involved that I'm sort of taking care of, and I might even do some crystal work in my own spare time. If you like to see my crystals, just look over the crystals for my crystal expedition. Without further ado, let's get along with the show. Just up with the gaming. I hope to get back into that shortly. It's just that it's been a fucking madhouse in the gardening industry, and you do get tired and you do get worn down, and when I'm back at my best, I'll be back at my best doing gaming, playing Lord of the Rings, the new one that's just been released on PlayStation 4. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting through it. Probably not the best game I've ever played, but probably not the worst game that I've ever played. It's sort of a mixed reaction between the two. I'm probably looking at it giving it a 7 or an 8, something thereabouts. But yeah, it does have its moments, and I like the also, it's blood sucking time. I'm going to drain your blood, I'm going to cut off your throat. So, anywho, without further ado, let's get on with the show. Just on Battlefront 2, I do see Rockstar taking over from that, and I do see multiplayer effing off. Thank fuck for that. And those box packs, where we actually pay an extra $100 on top of the $110 you already played to get a $210 gift pack, so you can play the full Star Wars in multiplayer as well as the story one, which is just complete bullshit. I agree with everybody what they've sort of been saying on YouTube, but in saying that, it is an improvement, Battlefront, but I don't see it being on EA games for too much longer. I do see Rockstar taking over from that and sort of having a huge bidding war with EA, so we'll have to stay in tune with that. Yeah, man, as I said it before, and I might even do this myself, if you're on the stock market, you might actually like to invest in EA, because the force is going to swing it back into being the tops. It's just lessons and things that they sort of have to learn. So in 10 or 20 years time, you might actually see EA sort of making a comeback into being the number one capacity, but not just yet. So that could be a perfect investment for you to invest in. So just keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the shares. But I'm thinking at this stage, that Rockstar will take over from Battlefield 3, which will be just fantastic, but instead of multiplayer, it would just be one big massive storyline, and I think the fans will be happy with that, rather than a storyline and multiplayer plus a box pack where you have to spend $100 to open up your box pack. So I'm hoping that Rockstar will take over from EA personally, but in saying that, if you do want to make a little bit of money, jump on EA, because they'll just learn from this, hopefully, and make some new discoveries and new games, and be back on their feet in a couple of years' time, and be really kicking ass. I mean, a couple of years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, EA were number one, and now they're sort of down the bottom. So you can imagine in 10 years' time, and they become a number one again, and you've invested in EA, But again, see your financial advisor and this and that, blah, 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 you could actually make some money on the side. So when there's a downside, there's always a plus side. So maybe it's an opportunity to invest in EA. It's, just again, don't take my advice, always see an expert and opinion on that. And without further ado, the game of the year so far definitely looks to be Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, that game's just fucking amazing. Or Legend of Zelda, definitely one of the two. So keep an eye out on for that. Another little prediction I have for you guys is to just in your local communities and local areas with community services groups. They're absolutely everywhere. The things like the Rotary Club, Lions Club, Leader, just to name a few. I know times are tough. I'm concerned about a couple of issues with myself. I do not wish to bring those issues up on these cameras. We'll just leave those issues between me and the people that I'm having issues with. But if you're in the same fight and you're supporting a local garden club, for example, I mean, these communities based are all over the world, not just in our small town of here in the Gippland Lakes. I mean, these sporting clubs are not sporting clubs, community clubs are everywhere. So if you're having a little bit of trouble, if you're having a little bit of concern, you're not the only one that's sort of tossing and turning and sleeping. Yeah, over here, I'm on these people. Hello! So you're not alone on that. I'm one of those people as well. So just do the best you can and do the job to your best abilities and don't half-ass things. And when you get asked questions, always ask for the highest good of all, and hopefully the highest good of all will prevail at the end of the day. Not only that, when you're in these sporting clubs and community services, ask St. Michael. I mean, he fucking wrote these laws, didn't he? He's fucking written them. Yo, St. Michael, can I have a copy of the law book? I need to see what's in the Constitution so I can understand what the hell's going on in my local sporting club. You've got it, Essex, but you're not saying a fucking thing until you read the Constitution. Easy, isn't it? Just ask for Big M. And of course St. Michael will say, yeah, here you go Darren, or here you go Joe, or here you go Stephen. And not only that too, when you're handling yourself and you sort of say, well Darren, I'm handling myself well, I'm following the Constitution, I'm following all these laws, so I'm this and that and blah blah. Have you ever thought about what's going on behind closed doors? Dum dum da dum da dum da dum da dum. Just be a little bit mindful of what's going on behind closed doors and what you don't see. What you don't hear, what you don't feel, what you can't see on the subconscious, what you don't see in dream time. Actually hire yourself to follow these people around. Bug their homes. I don't care. Do what Batman did in Return of the Joker and various bits and pieces. Bug the... Who cares? You have the right to know the truth as well as everybody else knows. The truth is out there. X-Files. Alright. Just having a little gag, but it's the truth. Alright. Finances are very, very good. A few hiccups along the way. With some of these community clubs, but in saying that, sporting clubs are making a huge comeback as far as finance is concerned, and now's the time to crack out the parties and to drink a couple of beers and bring your mates over in celebrations, good times, come on, it's a celebration. So all that too. Not only that, if you're a celebrity and you're going through hard times and various bits and pieces, do let me know. I'll be able to help you on your end as far as you're concerned. The matters that I've discussed are very, very private. There's celebrities that I do like and there's celebrities that I don't like, just like in people in day-to-day life. There's people that you like and there's people that you don't like, and various bits and pieces, and etc. So, not only that too, the storyline for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is excellent, in fact. So, it's probably worth the $100 picking up just for the storyline itself. So, if you can ignore the multiplayer and various bits and pieces, it's still a very good game by itself and its storyline. So maybe it's just worth you picking it up just for that alone, so you don't have to spend the extra $100. So, another little rumour is floating around is Walt Disney is going to buy out Fox 8. That is fucking huge. We'll have to wait and see on that. That's amazing in itself. Getting back to a lot of celebrities and things, there are a lot of stolen identities going on behind closed doors. There's people that I'm helping out there, especially with the females. As far as females are concerned, I'm on her side. I gave a decent healing to her yesterday, and I might even do a little bit more behind the scenes once I finish off with this segment. Another thing too with properties and investments and things like that, a lot of people are fighting with me at the moment, telling me that I should buy my own home and this and that and blah blah blah. The answer is no, only because I know I can't make that profit after the 10 years after I have this home that they sort of want me to buy. So the answer is no, and that's the reason why. So it might change in the future, but I very much doubt that. So if you think they're thinking, oh, Dad's just going to buy a home, he's going well and this and that, the business is booming, blah blah blah, he's going to buy a home. Yes, the business is booming, yes, it's successful, but just hold off. I know that people are pestering the archangels upstairs saying that I'm ready and this and that and finances are good and successful and they want me to buy the house and blah blah blah, but the answer is no. Moving along. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but it will take a really strong convincing for it to happen. But the money's there if we need to buy a second property, so it's already there, it's already in the bank account, it's already ready to rock and roll. Rock and roll. So that's just clearing up sort of the things. What's this rumor about Dad's buying a house? That's the reason behind that, and that's my decision. And I've made it at this point. It would have to take me a very strong convincing to buy a house in this local area where I stand. Doesn't mean I hate the local area. Doesn't mean anything like that at all. There are matters of opinion where I sort of stand in property and various bits and pieces like that. I love my clients. I respect people from the committee. From the community, I'm learning all the time, and there hasn't been a day gone by since I haven't learned something. So the lessons are there. Let's continue. I just started with taro already. Alright. I might. It's just a bit blurb. I'm going to do some more research on the card actually. Alright, for the community. Does that even surprise any of us? That card's just the devil, the sun, looking over, exchanging ideas and giving thought patterns, systems being corrupt in various bits and pieces, and you can actually see on the bottom of the card that the guy's got angles above his head in various bits and pieces. That pretty much talks about what I'm talking about, but if you listen to what I just said before, that card shouldn't really apply to you because you're my people, but it's just about the people around like the local community and what they are doing, so, which is really, but if you watch the show, then this doesn't apply. Queen of Pentacles. That can mean for a lot of different reasons. Things are moving forward, things are stepping into the right place. There is some good people in the community that are wanting to do some good things. The people that are good are going to hopefully step up and win, which is what we want at the end of the day. We want to win, we don't want to lose. Just like playing a game in AFL football, isn't it? Queen of Cups. This is a really actually good card. The mothers are sort of getting out of the shoes and skins and feet and sort of pretending the younglings and looking after the younglings and sort of taking the stride of being the man around the house and sort of sticking up for their own rights, so to speak. So this is the mother sitting on the crown, representing a high victory, various bits and pieces. So all is well as far as the mothers are concerned. If you're single and you're a mother, don't worry about it. We're just getting started. So I'll do a show on that later on. Again, doesn't surprise me. This card's just representing, it's been on a high, now it's time to go for a round. People are winded from battle, people are outside in the cold, there isn't enough money going around in various bits and pieces, but be very, very careful on that if you're in a local community and you're sort of seeing your finances or your figures and you think to yourself, holy shit, what do I do? How do I get out of this? Because what happens to one must happen to the other. It's very important that you understand that. They talk about that in Star Wars. Practically what it is, you do your work and you keep your mouth shut. Okay. Page of Cups. pretty self-explanatory what's going on there, blah blah blah. Pretty much saying if you're a fisherman, it's time to go back to work, and the awards are there if you're in the fishing industry. That card doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Shipping course, being stabbed in the back, which is very disappointing. Yibbida yibbida, that's all. The highest princess. Again, this again, the taro is sort of suggesting about these community services and what's going on in various bits and pieces. We know absolutely nothing about what's going on in the spiritual world or in the spiritual realm. We know a little bit, but we may only know 5% out of 100 if we are lucky. There might even be a princess that's involved that is making these decisions. That's just higher up in the spirit world that we just simply do not know about. If that's the case, I hope to get stuck into her at dream state. There's things that I'd like to get off my chest for myself, and not only that, there might even be things that I have to learn for myself and others to understand why these situations are taking place. As I said, it's a never one-stop learning shop. So without further ado, I hope you have a kick-ass day and a kick-ass week, and I hope you enjoy listening to this video as I enjoyed making this video. Without further ado, peace.